6 months into my recovery, I sat the mother of my children down and I had a talk with her, and it crushed her. It absolutely broke her to the point where she had to reconsider the entire relationship. Why am I telling you this? Well, let's rewind back to the start and I'll give you a little bit of context. So it was October 2021 when I finally bit the bullet. I finally got the courage to come clean to my wife and tell her what had been going on and what I'd been up to. And the fear going into it of her reaction, of what was going to happen, what the future would hold, was just it's so overwhelming. Like, just it took so long to finally come clean. Like, I was struggling for months and months and months, like on the verge of mental breakdowns, and just keeping this all bottled up and all to myself, just for the fear of the reaction I was going to get, and whether I was even still going to have a wife and sort of still have my children living with me. But October 2021, as I say, I finally bit the bullet and faced up to my actions and admitted responsibility for what I'd done. The only caveat was there was one thing that I kept hidden. There was one thing I didn't tell her about. I told her everything. Trust me, there was a lot of damage that I'd done, and I told her everything other than one thing. That one thing I kept hidden, just for fear that was going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. So it was a rough few months. The relationship continued. My wife stood by me and helped me with my counselling and my support groups and whatnot. And things started to improve massively after a few months, especially within our relationship, despite the damage that I'd done, the trust issues, the financial damage, the lies, the deceit, everything unraveling. 6 months in, it felt so much better. However, that one thing I was keeping to the side, it was still nibbling away at me every day. It was still there. It was like a thorn in my side. And you know what? It felt like I was still gambling. It did. It felt like I was still at it because I had this one little secret. So eventually I plucked up the courage, sat her down and told her, I said, listen, there's a bank account that you don't know about. I secretly funneled money into this bank account, and I was using that to gamble as well. And that's money that is now debt that she obviously wasn't aware of. She reacted a lot worse than I expected, which in hindsight is completely understandable, and I completely sympathise with her. However, at the time, because it was over 6 months ago that I'd done this, I was expecting a pat on the back for telling her about it. That wasn't what happened. It went really south. It took a few weeks for her to come round. And you know what, it was a rough few weeks, even a couple of months. However, now, over 3 years in, I am so glad that I told her about that extra thing, because just the release of that burden was just, that feeling's just, I don't know how to describe it. Just the peace of mind that I have now, like the fact that everything is out on the table. There's no secrets. My wife knows everything. Like when I come clean and told her about that extra one, like it felt like those 6 months of recovery had just been completely undone. She said it felt like I'd just gambled there and then, even though I hadn't. However, now it's just I'm not scared of my wife picking up my phone. I don't have to beat it to the mailman. That peace of mind of everything being out on the table is just priceless. It's just money can't buy, and that's the best part of recovery for me. Why am I telling you this? So basically, I've had a friend in one of my support groups that has been struggling, and he's been relapsing multiple times. And he told me that his partner isn't aware of any of it. And straight away, alarm bells just were ringing in my head. And I was like, it's that the fact that your loved one, the person closest to you in the world, doesn't know what's really going on is so isolating, and it's leaving a back door open for that person to go and gamble. It literally is. This isn't a how-to guide. This is a how I dealt with it, and this is my experience. I'm not telling you to go and do this. Only you can weigh up how your partner will react, how strong your relationship is. Whether it is your partner, it could be your parents, could be your children, just depending on what stage you're at in life, who the person that matters most to you is that you want to tell. Basically, only you can decide how important that relationship is, how strong that relationship is, as to whether you you can come clean and bear it all. I understand the fear of judgment, the fear of the disappointment that the other person's going to have. No doubt this won't be the first time that you've told them about your gambling, so it'll be like a common theme of disappointment. And like I say, it will be a rough few weeks, a rough time ahead, but it's a case of it'll get worse before it gets better. It will be a rough few days, few weeks, few months, but trust me, in the longer term, as long as you stick to your recovery and you keep doing those right things, and that loved one sees you doing that, and that loved one helps you and supports you through it, trust me, you will come out the other side so thankful that you finally bit the bullet and got it done. The isolation of nobody knowing, of the person that's closest to you not knowing what's going on, that isolation fuels addiction. It does, it really does. The opposite to addiction is connection, and once you're connected and you can get everything out on the table and tell that loved one, the burden it releases is just, it's an amazing feeling, speaking from my experience. If you are going to go for it, then prepare yourself for the conversation. Obviously pick the right time, the right place. Don't just do it in the middle of an evening at a restaurant or something like that. A nice quiet evening that you've got planned to be in. There's no right time to do it. There's no perfect time to tell someone about what you've been up to when it's a gambling addiction. However, there's less worse times, if you like. Expect mixed reactions. You're, like I say, going into that one 6 months in, I was expecting a good reaction, and that's not what I got at all. In hindsight, completely understandable. So expect a negative reaction. Don't expect a pat on the back for coming clean. That will come further down the line, I assure you, but it's going to be a shock to the person that you're telling, no doubt. So expect some negativity, expect some name calling, expect some storming out. It's going to happen. It's going to be a rough time after it, but it will get better after that, as I keep saying. Be honest when you're talking about it. Be honest. Don't come up with excuses. Don't blame somebody else. Don't blame your mates who take you to their sports. Admit responsibility. That's the biggest thing for me. Admit, I did this and I'm going to get myself out of this. I'm telling you because I want you to know that this is my thing, my responsibility, and I want to get better. I want to get myself through this. Discuss, like from that moment on, the isolation will be no more. You'll be able to discuss with your partner how you're feeling and how certain feelings made you do certain things, and you're just, as long as your partner supports you through it. My partner found the local support group for me to go to. My partner found a rehab clinic for me to go to. My partner was so supportive. I was really lucky, and I hope that happens for you guys out there as well. Just that feeling, that knowing they're on your side and they're rooting for you to get through this and sort of come out the other side and be the person that they know you can be. It's such a good thing. So yeah, a little reminder to everyone out there struggling, you're not alone. I've been through this. There's hundreds of thousands and millions of people in the world who've been through this. The fear of judgment, the fear of disappointment, the being scared of how people are going to react when you finally tell all. You're not alone. We've all been there. I've been there, and I'm here to tell my story, to say I came out the other side and I am absolutely flying now. And it's because I did that. If it's a bit too overwhelming for you, you're not ready to tell your loved ones, please, a call to action. Find some professional help. Find a local support group. Find the Gamblers Anonymous meeting online. There's so much help out there. If you just look, you will find it. Just don't suffer in silence anymore. Please reach out to somebody and start. The isolation just keeps fueling the addiction. Please. Right? Leave me a comment below if this video has helped. It's great to be back on YouTube and recording these videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you would like any more guidance on overcoming gambling addiction, then please watch this video on the screen here. You also have my recovery playlist over on the other side, and make sure you subscribe.